Creativity, curiosity, communication, these are all very important soft skills, but there is one other which changes everything. In today's episode of Chronicles of a Female Engineer, I want to discuss the importance of emotional intelligence in engineering. An emotionally intelligent person is skilled in 4 areas: identifying emotions, using emotions, understanding emotions, and regulating emotions. And essentially, it falls under 5 key areas: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. Those are the 5 areas. So I want to draw on several situations where engineers will definitely rely on emotional intelligence, and it may not be as intuitive as you think. The first one, networking. We all know about networking. Don't you hate going to a party and knowing no one? It can often feel like networking is designed to be exactly like this. To break through the ice of meeting new people, you're going to have to use a little bit of motivation to connect. Recognize open body language and approach those people who look approachable. Use your social skills to scan for welcoming faces and courageously start those conversations. You feel satisfied at the end of the night when you've walked out with some interesting connections. You never know, one of those could land you your next greatest opportunity. The second area is negotiations. Self-awareness is an important skill to have in a negotiation. The ability to ask for more is critical. And not only when you're negotiating your own salary raise or promotion, but for increasing project funding. Preparation is certainly key, but some curveballs that arise during a negotiation are well managed when you can read where a situation is going and either quickly counteract it or lean in the power of silence. And this one often gets overlooked. The next one is around communication. Half of the designs that we create as engineers are to solve a problem, right? Engineers need to clearly articulate what that problem is, the recommended solutions we're going to provide, and the benefits with that solution or the design that you've created to solve it. If we can't connect the dots, we are missing out on half the satisfaction and fulfillment associated with being an engineer. Communication has got a raft of other important skills, but I just want to highlight those things and how emotional intelligence plays a part in communication. Another skill that's important is conflict resolution. Now, we won't be able to get away from conflict resolution in a workplace. Drama follows us. It's everywhere, in the kitchen, at the desk. We can choose to run away, but that doesn't help anyone. If you haven't seen my episode on conflict resolution and how to handle difficult conversations, make sure to go check that out. So understanding when someone has an aversion to your ideas or has a misunderstanding, you can use emotional intelligence to create space to deal with those issues. This can include selecting the right time to have these conversations, preparing for that conversation. Also, once you're in that conversation, having the ability to respect and let the other person talk, letting them air out their views and actively listening to those skills. This is all part of regulating your emotions, being aware when yourself, your emotions are starting to err on the side of, give them space to talk. Let them make their opinions known, make a conclusion and follow up perhaps once things have cooled down. So conflict resolution certainly plays a part, and it can happen at any stage of the workplace hierarchy. So think of in your team, with your line manager, perhaps with external stakeholders or a client. Emotional intelligence will be critical for conflict resolution. The last one I want to talk about is around influencing. If you can think about the last change management that your company had to implement, most people just don't like change in general. Certainty is one of the common human needs. People like the ability to predict what's going to happen to work, the ability to predict and know what the routine is. People like that. So when change is imminent, plenty of preparation, analysis needs to go in. Will people be impacted? If so, how? Will process, plant, and equipment be impacted? How? And people will want to know, why is this change happening? Why is it needed? And what does it mean for me? What's in it for me? As an engineer, you will need to get as much buy-in as you can. The more allies, the easier your change is to implement. So use those social skills. Have empathy for those that are struggling to come to terms with the change and certainty being pulled away from their lives and now having to become accustomed to your change. Emotional intelligence will help you with influencing change in the workplace. And even today, our buzzwords around inclusion, this plays a big part in fostering an environment that is inclusive, respectful, transparent around decision making, and letting people come along the journey with you. So I hope you found it interesting in how emotional intelligence can help engineers both in the networking environment, communicating, negotiation skills, conflict resolution, as well as influencing. If you enjoyed today's episode of Chronicles of a Female Engineer, let me know your comments below. Make sure you've subscribed. Let me know and connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook under Brenda Den Weston. I want to know all about you. And get in touch soon. Bye.